Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. I am one of two commentators for tonight, Malc. With me, as always, in the commentators box is Tim. How you doing, mate? You all right?
How you doing, Malc? I am absolutely excited for Azerbaijan, one of my favorite tracks on the circuit. It is such a tight little track, though. We were talking about the castle section just last week, but nonetheless, take that out of it, it's my favorite track on the whole schedule.
Oh, I was just about to say, Azerbaijan is one of the trickiest tracks, and you saying that this is one of your favourite tracks of all time here. But that scenario here with the castle section as well, it's one of the trickiest parts of the track as well. If you don't get that spot on, you will see a lot of incidents galore as well. But hopefully we won't see much incidents there at all, but hopefully we'll have a cracker of a race here at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So, a bit of a stats of the Azerbaijan track for you as well here, Tim. So, obviously Azerbaijan it's 20 turns, 20 corners, shall we say. But as I said, with the trickiest one of the castle section there's other parts there where you have to be absolutely spot on. If you don't get it spot on, you could easily lose out massively. And from your point of view and from your experience of the track here, what would you reckon the guys will have to do to try and avoid the castle section in bad times, shall we say?
Well, they're going to have to be very cautious, first of all, but also don't be afraid to enter it just a little bit wider on that straightaway, because there is that wall there that's just going to come up and bite you. You don't want to go too wide, but the wider of an angle that you can get entering the corner so that you can really arc it in, the better off you're going to be, because if you enter it too tight, then you're just going to oversteer into the outside wall right there in the chicane, and then you're just going to be a roadblock for everyone else coming behind you, kind of like what happened with Charles Leclerc last year. So it's a really tricky corner that you got to have a lot of precision, and don't be afraid to go a little bit slower through there if it means not wrecking out. You might not get a fast lap, you might lose a pole lap that way, but it's a lot better than wrecking your car and being out entirely, especially if it's during the race.
Absolutely, and you're going to have to try and be absolutely spot on here as well. And from this point of view on, it's one of those, as I said, with the trickiest tracks of them all, you're going to have to try and avoid any carnage as well. And I think with the castle section, I wouldn't be surprised if we get one or possibly two safety cars from here as well. So obviously tonight this is the this is the reverse grid of the Performance League tonight. And obviously, if you just joined us, good evening to you all. And I hope you're all going to be excited here to find out what's going to happen here from this race here tonight. For this scenario here, with obviously a bit of a recap from last week's race, Harry on his second race won at the Hungarian Grand Prix here. So that will be immense if you can try and get into that top 10 or possibly top 5 if you can get to a massive good start here. But it all depends on how everyone else can capitalise on it as well. So from everyone's point of view here, what do you think is your top 3 predictions here? Obviously the reverse grid, we will try and give you the exact details there, Tim, but from your point of view, and looking at it from reverse grid's point of view, what would you like to see in the top 3 tonight?
Well, first off, I kind of feel like this might be Rymac's day to squeak by and get himself a podium, or if not a win. So I'm going to go with Rimac as one of those drivers. I'm feeling potentially YNWA Matty and Moreno. You know, he is in the championship battle with Cliffy at the moment, and honestly, I'd say that Cliffy could honestly have a chance, but I'm not actually seeing his name there on the side. So is Cliffy even racing with us tonight?
Unfortunately, he cannot make it tonight. So he's one of the drivers who unfortunately cannot make it. So Obviously, this is the reverse grid for tonight's race here. We've got Lewis 11004 in first. Then we've got Volcanus Prime in second. Then Cryptox in third. Nightshade is in fourth. Vienna is in fifth. Scott Bugner is in sixth. Oh, Stephen it will be in seventh. Scopefielder will be in eighth. Cliffy would have been in ninth, but because he could not make it, so everyone will move up a place. So Rymac will be in ninth. Matt T will be in 10th. Harry will be in 11th. Sab will be in 12th. Nigel Gash 13th. Mike will be 14th. Roy Boy 15th. Hailstone 16th. Moreno 17th. And Aaron J. Spence 18th place. All being well. So from hearing for that, we're about to start the session here. Everyone's all set, ready to go on this tricky track here as well. So the strategy to go for is the soft hards. So soft hards is the way forward, but it all depends on the safety car. So I know I said we could possibly have a safety car 1 or 2, but do you think you would recommend? Do you think it will happen here tonight from your point of view here, Tim?
I think that it's very possible that a safety car can happen. I mean, we were talking about it all last week, that Azerbaijan is really just such a tight little track and is very narrow, even down here in in turn 2, and as they're heading down toward turn 3, this straightaway, which is actually a DRS section, is still very narrow. It kind of widens out here at this part, but it certainly does not lack for excitement, we'll say that much. So I'd say it's very possible that we're going to see a safety car here. While it's not necessarily a guarantee, it should be on the back of the drivers' minds. And I think that the best way that they can go about this is, oh my goodness, Lewis actually hit the wall on the pace lap here. So Lewis locking it up early on. Not sure if there's any wing damage. I'm sure there must be, but unfortunate for that Haas machine there. Hopefully that if there isn't any wing damage, that he can continue. But as I was saying, I think the best thing that the drivers can do is kind of have two strategies in mind. One for when the race goes entirely green, if it does, and then another strategy if the safety car comes out. That way all your bases are covered, and hopefully you're not going to get caught out unexpectedly.
Absolutely, and it all depends on how they can try and attack during this race itself. But obviously, you've just seen on the screen here, you got the predicted pit stop strategy. As I said, you could do. They say it's the medium hards here, which from the tyre wear as well, it looks like majority of the drivers have gone for the mediums and hards, which I wouldn't be surprised, which I thought that some of them would have gambled on the softs and then gone all the way for the hards here. But Cryptox is the only one out of 17 drivers to gamble on the softs, so he's going to have to try and get a really, really good start here. But we would like to see what's going to happen here tonight. Good evening to Coop. How you doing, mate? You're right. He is saying that Scott what was it now? I've just got the comment up. So Coop says Scott Butler is overdue a win. Do you agree with that, Tim?
Yeah, he really is, honestly, because it was last season that Scott Bugner was really dominant. Well, I wouldn't say dominant, but he was certainly fast, and he had a couple wins. He almost had a win in Spa before there was an issue there. That is especially one that stands out in my mind because he was over 20 seconds in the lead, I do believe. But this season, it just hasn't quite been his season. He's been consistent. He's sitting there in 6th place right now. He's had some good points finishes. He's actually second in the points. However, he just hasn't quite had the performance that he did last season. So I do agree he is a bit overdue.
Absolutely. But don't forget, he has got 2 podiums. He has got 2 seconds this season. So let's see if he can try and aim for that first there. Good evening to Charlie. How you doing, mate? You all right? We're about to kick off here. So, Tim, over to you.
And the drivers watching the lights. You hear those itchy pedal feet. You hear those engines revving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the Invictus Racing League Performance League Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Lewis leading him down into turn number 1. There's a bit of a contact. McLaren spinning around. Who is that? That is Volcanus Prime spinning around off the front nose of Cryptox in the Racing Point machine. So unfortunate for him, Lewis still leads this race by about 1.3 seconds over the Racing Point of Cryptox, with Vienna following closely behind in 3rd.
Yeah, that was a bit of an incident galore there from turn 1 there. It was from the I believe, the McLaren and also the Ferrari as well. Sab's just moved himself up to 11th place here as well. So let's see how Vienna can try and catch up with Cryptox here as well. So let's see how we can try and do it from this point of view here as well. Let's have a quick glance at some of the drivers at the back of the well, in the mid pack of the grid here as well. So Roy Mack trying to close in through the castle section here as well. So Roy Boy's come up to move up to 14th place here. Everyone's trying to be absolutely delicate here as well, and you do not want to make any silly mistakes here through the castle section there, Tim. So who are you watching so far?
Right on board with Scope Filters. He's trying to give chase to Vienna in that Alfa Romeo. Scope Filter, the other Haas machine in this field today. Of course, his car allocated teammate of Lewis still in the lead, but Cryptox is actually starting to eat away at that lead. 7/10 of a second, 4/10 of a second now. Cryptox is coming. Look at this. Lewis is about to become a sitting duck, and this is only lap 1. No DRS yet. This is raw pace from Cryptox in the racing point. He's using that slipstream very nicely, very smooth. He's stuck it onto the inside now. They're side by side. Lewis trying to fend him off, but he's not going to be able to do it. And Cryptox has cleared Lewis before they get down to turn number 1. Lewis back on the defensive to try to chase down Cryptox, but Cryptox is quick. And of course, that Racing Point machine, it's a little bit faster than that Haas car. So Cryptox definitely having the performance advantage here. Lewis just trying to hang on.
Absolutely, he's trying everything he can here, but nothing you can do against the lightning speed of the Cryptox of the Racing Point car itself here. And there's quite a few drivers who are pitted already. There must have been some contact earlier on there as well. We're on lap, I believe, lap 2 as well. Oh, lap 3, sorry, of the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League, live and exclusive for you guys here as well. And make sure you like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, as well as all the other social media sites here as well, with Facebook, Twitter and Instagram here as well. But with this battle galore here as well. Scope try to close the gap here on Vienna here through the castle section here. I tell you what, I don't know how everyone can be like, they have to be like 110% here to make sure you do not want to lose that wing. Obviously that wing will cost you massively as well. And this has been unbelievable racing here, Tim.
Yeah, and Malc, just going back to what you said on the wing, it is definitely a crucial part of the car here, and really it's a crucial part of the car anywhere you go, but especially here in Azerbaijan, because these corners are so tight. You need that front grip. I usually like to run a high downforce package here at Azerbaijan, because where it's really lacking on the front straightaways, it can really help in the corners, these tight corners where you need that extra grip. So it's just finding that balance, and you need that front grip especially to try to get you around these corners. So do not mess with that front wing at all.
Absolutely. Just like I said, we're just still watching this battle here. It looks like Roy Boy's had a bit of a connection issue earlier on, so we'll have to try our best to get you back in racing as quickly as possible here, Roy Boy. From this point of view, Harry looks like he's trying to close in on O'Stephen here. Scope, I'll tell you what, we'll have a look at this battle here between Harry and O'Stephen here. We could have a two wide situation here down the straight here, or the DRS straight here as well. Come up to, which is turn 4 here now. Let's see how they can try and do it. And Harry made a brilliant move there as well. Fantastic move there. It looks like a little bit of contact there. But look at this, the Hailstone. The Hailstone's going to try and make side by side here with O'Stephen up to the end of the first sector here. And has he done it? Oh my days! There's been contact there. There's been contact there, and because of those two battling out there, it's brought Aaron J. Spence 1992 through to 7th place there.
And what a battle that was from the Hellstone, Aaron and O'Stephen. That was insane. Honestly surprised that the Hellstone escaped with as little damage as he did, but definitely going a little bit wide and getting into the Mercedes of O'Stephen there. So you know he's not going to be happy with that. But wow, already early on in this race, it's only lap 3 and we're seeing contact in battles just about every single lap at this point, honestly. And all the while, Cryptox still pulling away from Lewis up there in the first position, with Vienna 3rd, Scope Footer 4th, Scott Bugner in 5th, your top 5 at the moment. And Harry, probably the lucky driver in that mix on the last battle, because he is in 6th place and nowhere near the drivers behind him.
Bit lucky there for Harry there as well. It looks like Vienna trying to close in on Scope here for 3rd place here as well. And I tell you what, this needs to be from everyone's point of view as well. So let's see how Vienna thought he was trying to make the move there as well, but he did not get that extra kick that he needs to try and push on here as well. So good evening to Charlie. How you doing, mate? Right, Gareth, good evening to you, mate. Hope you're going well. He was saying that this is Scott's chance of trying to get some decent points here because there's no Cliffy here tonight, which I do agree as well. But from Scott in 5th place as well, and slowly try and build up with that, catching up with the top 4 drivers here as well. This will be massive boost here as well. But fair play, as you said earlier, Tim, fair play to Harry, who's still battling out and could be on for like a second podium of the season here on his 3rd race of the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League.
Yeah, Harry so far doing very well, and of course with his win last week, I'm sure that he is on a little bit of a confidence kick at the moment. So Harry running in 6th right now, not a bad position, just trying to hang on to it and get through this race on those medium tires. Only 3 laps run so far, and I'm noticing that Cryptox is the only one who chose the soft tires starting out, and so that puts him 3.4 seconds ahead of Lewis in 2nd place there, and of course Skillflitter there in 3rd. But Cryptox is pitting, or no, excuse me, that is Lewis pitting. Cryptox staying out while Lewis pits, so not sure what happened to Lewis, but there might be some damage on his front wing. That's really the only reason I could see him pitting this early, because he was on the medium tires. They should last a lot longer than that.
Yeah, so his front wing has definitely been changed there, Tim. You are absolutely spot on there as well. So he must have made a massive mistake there through the castle section or somewhere throughout that track there as well. Oh, we're on lap 5 of 26 of the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League, live exclusive here for you guys on the YouTube channel here as well. We're just watching Nitrogas try and close in on Stephen now for 7th place here. Now, obviously the hard tyres can last majority of the race here. Probably about up to about 21, 22 laps of the hards as well, so they easily can try and do all the way. I remembered yesterday the race in itself. I mean, I had to pit really early as well, and had to do like 23 laps on the hards. I had no choice, to be fair, because of an incident with the wing as well. So it all depends on if they get stuck behind and they have to try and get a faster tyre wear. And it all depends on when that safety car could come out here. But we've not heard anything from like the weather crew here or anything like that at all. So as far as we're concerned here, it's going to be a dry race here. So Lewis is moved up to 9th place here. Roy Boy looks like he's dropped down to 10th place here. But the battle here for Nigel Gash and Stephen here is just hotting up here for 7th place here.
Yeah, and I've actually been taking a look at that battle, riding on board with Nitro Gash as he's closing in on O'Steven. Only about half a second separating these two drivers now as they're about to enter the long front straightaway, and Nitro Gash should have the DRS, so this might be his chance to get by that Mercedes driver. Let's see if he can do it. He does activate the DRS, and now he is trying to use that slipstream to get close to him. He's going to be able to make the move, but it's going to be close as they go into turn 1. They're going to be side by side. Oh, and some contact there, but not a lot. O'Steven getting a little bit loose, but hanging on to it. That could have been a lot worse than it was. Nitro Gash move him up into the 7th position, now pulling away from O'Steven.
Yeah, I think there was not any front wing damage there from O'Steven's point of view as well. So O'Steven's still very lucky to try and catch up with Nitro Gash here. We'll have that little bit of that DRS scenario here as well. So we have to wait and see if he can try, and he's got to be absolutely patient around here, because if he doesn't, that he has to be absolutely careful here as well. Aaron J. Spencer's moved up to 12th place. Night Chase dropped down to 13th place here, but the battle here for 7th place is still hotting up here, as Nitrogas still holding on with that McLaren car. And they're coming up to the castle section now. This is the part where I would wait until, because if you make massive mistakes here, you lose out absolutely there. And we have to wait and see what Lewis on the soft tyres trying to close in on O'Steven now for 8th place as well.
Yeah, I was about to say that you cannot wait too long because Lewis is back there on those fresh softs, and wow, that was close getting through that corner. That was very fortunate on Lewis's part. I thought for a minute that he was going to be turned around. It was just two cars trying to take up the same bit of real estate on the racetrack, and you can't do that. So good job on O'Steven and Lewis both keeping it clean there. And O'Steven looks like he's actually battling a little bit of an understeer issue as I'm riding on board with him. He's just dancing with that car. Almost hit the wall in that last corner, but now he is using the slipstream to try to get close to Lewis. He does have the DRS, but will he be able to get by him before they get to turn number 1? It's going to be close. He's looking on the inside. He has to back out of it. Lewis locks it up and slides through turn number 1. Wow! But he hangs on to it still, and he's retaining the 8th position, doing a good job defending against O'Steven. O'Steven gets a little bit loose out of that corner that time, and that's going to allow Lewis a chance to charge at Nitro Gash, but that is a 1 second gap that he's going to have to make up.
Absolutely, you have to wait and see how O'Steven can try and catch up as well with Lewis on the charge here on Nitro Gas to try and get past him for 7th place here, but he was very lucky, to be fair, Lewis, at turn 1. And we have to wait and see how he can try and take that move here. Would he try and make the move just before the castle section?
And Lewis is making a move on Nitro Gas now. Sorry, Malc, but it's on the inside, and wow, he does make the move. Those soft tires are really proving to be a massive benefit for Lewis there. And oh, I think he hit the wall. I think he hit the wall in the castle section. I'm not sure if he damaged any part of his car, but I think there was some contact. I think his front wing is okay, but I thought I saw some debris fly off.
Yeah, no, there was no from the wing damage there, Tim.
Wow.
There was no wing damage there, but he's very, very lucky. That's twice now, Lewis. He's been very lucky with the wall situations there as well. So let's see how he can try and do it. Cryptox is gone into the pits now, which should be for the hard tyres to pit in now from first place and drop down to 3rd here now. Let's have a quick glance at Vienna now to try and close in on Scope now, who's charging up on the leader here now. So 5/10 here now. So Vienna trying to do everything he can here. Scope, who is the PC champion as well. Congratulations to him as well. He's doing a brilliant job last night in the PC League. And fair play to him. He did a fantastic job there as well. Fucking Prime has retired. He's the first driver in to have the DNF, and it was through the castle section there, Tim.
Yeah, and that is unfortunate for Vulcanus Prime, and actually our leaders are about to come up on that, so let's hope that it's clear by the time they get there. It's going to be close. There is a yellow flag in that sector for obvious reasons, but let's see. Yeah, they can get through A-OK, so very fortunate for them. But yeah, Vulcanus Prime, he started this race in about the 2nd or 3rd position, but he got spun around there on the very first lap in the first corner, and he just really hasn't been able to recover since then. And now you see how his day's ended in the castle section, so it's just not been a good race at all for Vulcanus Prime. And you got to feel for him, because starting up front like that, you feel like you have a shot, and then it's just taken away sometimes, and it just hurts.
Absolutely. You don't want to lose. You do not want to have a DNF or anything like that at all, because every point, every position that you get means perfect points here tonight, as well as the league in this. Just waiting for Vienna to try and get that on charge on Scope here. A little bit behind there, but let's see if Vienna can try and get a little bit of that slipstream. If he can try and keep up with Scope, this will be massive boost here as well. So let's see if Vienna can try and make the move here on the second DRS straight here now. And also O'Steven could try and charge on Roy Boy and Nigel Gash here, but still with Scope and Vienna still banging out here. And they're doing everything they can here through the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here. So who are you watching so far, mate?
Actually been watching the battle for the 1st and 2nd position, and I think that Scopefielder is really fighting a losing battle here at this moment. And it's not that he really has a choice. He's got to try to keep Vienna behind him. But where Scopefielder's on the medium tires and Vienna's on the hard tires, it's just going to be a matter of time before the hard tires become more preferable and those medium tires start to really reach the end of their life. So it's just a waiting game for Vienna. If I were him, I would not push the issue too hard and instead just kind of ride around behind Scopefielder and wait for his tires to drop off so that he can come to me rather than me pushing to go to him.
Absolutely. But yeah, it all depends. Obviously, Vienna can go longer. Obviously, he's on the hards and Scope's on the medium. So at some point, Scope will have to pit probably on lap 17, 18. It all depends, or probably even earlier than that actually, depending on how he can try and keep those tyre wear on track as well. So at the moment here, we're on Scope in leading first, Vienna in second, Scott, who desperately needs to get some points if he wants to try and challenge Cliffy here, in third here. Harry, he's going to be side by side here with Scott here, and he's moved up to third place here, just at the nick of time there as well. So fair play to Harry. So now he's going to have to try and push. Sorry, mate, carry on.
Now Roy Boy making a move on Nitro Gash down the front straightaway, using that DRS, but Nitro Gash is not going to let him just have it. He's trying to look back on the inside. Is he going to send it into turn? What was that? Whoa, Roy Boy just shoots across the track. I have no idea what I just saw, Malc.
I don't know what to say with that, but that would have been some scary moments there for Nitro Gash. Absolute scary moments there, but it's still intact and still trying to battle out it on track here on lap 10 of 26 of the Performance League for the Invictus Racing League as well. So let's have a quick glance at. Let's have a look at Rymac actually. Try to close in on Aaron J. Spence here for 11th and 12th here, as well as trying to see if there's any other battles galore with the top two, as well as third and fourth place in this situation at this track at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here. But at the moment here, everyone's all spread out. Majority of the drivers have all spread out here, so for a neutral point of view, we reckon that the safety car will be the best one to bring it all up again and try and have that great launch to get back into this battles of overtakes galore here.
Yeah, and currently I'm just watching Harry, but look at this now. Vienna actually starting to close the gap on the scope filter now. He's going to have the DRS down the front straightaway, and he's going to try to go around the outside, but actually scope filter made it easy for him. Scope filter is pitting rather early, don't you think?
Yeah. I would have expected to lap 13 for the mediums. I know I said lap 17 as best as you can be, but obviously you want to try and pit earlier so you can try and get on the hards, and you would have a little bit more fresher than the guys who are joining later on, like Cryptox, who already had 2 laps already with the hard tyres situations there as well. So as things stand here, Vienna on in first, Harry in second there, who's doing a magnificent job again on his third race as well. Scott, who, as I said earlier on, desperately needs the points here to try and close in on Cliffy as well, and he's doing an alright job. So it all depends on when he's going to gamble to try and go on, would be for the softs situations here, or possibly mediums, but I reckon he'll probably go all the way to the softs depending on the situation of the race unfolds at the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League.
Yeah, and currently I'm watching the Hellstone. He's starting to close in on Scott Bugner there for the third position. 9/10 of a second separating these two drivers at the moment. And honestly, I thought that the Hellstone was going to close on him a lot quicker, but it looks like Scott's found his pace and is starting to pull away. But I think this is one of those deals to where Scott's quicker in one part of the track and the Hellstone is quicker than in the other. So I think that the Hellstone's strong sector is really Sector 1. And now that they're in Sector 3 and just finished Sector 2, that's where Scott is going to be strong. So let's see what the Hellstone can do. He kind of had DRS last time around in this section, but he's not going to have it this time. And actually, it is Scott Bugner who's pulling away now. Almost wondering if those medium tires on that racing point are starting to show their age, and he might be pitting this time. Yes, he does. So the Hellstone going down into the pits. That's going to move his car-allocated teammate of Cryptox, who's already pitted, up into the 4th position on those hard tires. And with fresher hards, it's only going to be a matter of time before he could run Scott Bugner down. The question is, when will Scott Bugner pit, and will his fresher tires at the end of the race be better than Cryptox's old tires?
It all depends on if Scott can try and make a bit of a gap to at least try and get a close to a pit stop, to a free pit stop at that situation there as well. So at the moment here, probably about 20 to 25 seconds is normally the pit stop situations. So if Scott can try and get the gap there, that would be magnificent. But with Cryptox in those fresher hard tyres here as well, so I have to wait and see what happens here from this point of view as well. So let's see how Cryptox can go through the castle section nearly there. Matty has retired. Matty has retired.
And I think we have a safety car, Malc.
I believe you are correct. Yes, it is the safety car. So the safety car, I did predicted at least guaranteed one safety car here tonight at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here. So now everyone was all spread out. They're going to come back in and try and... Would you pit now if you already pitted for the hard tyres, which Scope had already gone on the hards? So that would be... Well, he already had been on there, so he would be mammoth boost here, shall we say.
I'm really not sure. I think it depends on where I'm running in the race. I know that Vienna, Harry, and Scott Bugner, it is a no-brainer to pit, and there you see all three of them coming down pit road now. This has done them, especially Vienna, a lot of favors because they were very far ahead, and now they're going to have fresh medium tires to go out there and finish this race on. So that safety car could not have came at a better time for our top three contenders at the moment. So Scott Bugner, who's in a championship battle, looks like he's having to serve a time penalty or get a front wing changed or something, so he's losing some time in the pits, dropping down to 5th now. Not sure exactly what's happening, but Scott Bugner now pulling out in the 5th position, so that was unfortunate for him that he lost that amount of time. But could you imagine if he had to do that under green flag conditions? So really, looking on the bright side here, Scott Bugner is lucky to have only lost those 2 positions. So now the updated running order is Vienna in 1st, Harry in 2nd, Cryptox 3rd, Lewis 4th, and Scott Bugner in the 5th position. And all of them except for Harry on the medium tires. Harry having to choose the hard tires. That I don't think that's going to do him any favors at all. But it's just the matter that he started on the medium, so he had really no choice but to go on the hard tires after this. Now, if there's a second safety car, he can pit for softs and maybe be okay. But for the time being, he is going to probably get swallowed by his competitors behind him.
Absolutely, and he's going to be... Well, don't get me wrong, Harry, who's still battling out in the F1 Championship with Gamer as well. So I would not, I will not, I will not. What's the word I'm after? I will not lose contact or anything like that. He will bounce back. He will try and keep fighting, Harry. I know he will never give up at all as well. So I wouldn't write him. That's the word. I wouldn't write him off completely for Harry, but it all depends on these long straights here. Obviously, you've got Cryptox in the racing point with that fast Mercedes engine there as well. Obviously, Lewis, who's quicker, Scott quicker, Schofielder, the PC champion as well. Roy Boy on his day, Nigel Gas as well. Oh, Stephen in the Mercedes as well. So I think Harry will defend probably for the lap or two. But it all depends if he can try and stop the on charge of the guys who are on the medium tyres here.
Well, we'll find out here in just a few laps' time. So, Malc, I want to turn to you. Who do you think has really got this thing in the bag, or does anyone really have it in the bag? Because Vienna has shown some speed, but now, of course, as you said, they're a lot closer because of the safety car, just bringing them all together. So he does not have the benefit of a 7-second gap like he did before the safety car. Do you think Vienna could still pull away and win this race, or do you think maybe Cryptox back there in 3rd, who's shown speed very early on and just never let up, do you think that he's going to maybe try to get by these guys and get up there and maybe not necessarily dominate, but just pull away from Vienna and Harry? Because they're on the same age tires. It's just a matter of which driver is faster at this point.
Very good question, actually. With Vienna, who on his day can be a very, very good driver as well. So obviously with Vienna having a win already in Belgium 2 weeks ago as well. So I wouldn't write him off at all to be doing well here. But obviously with Cryptox in that racing point, as long as his wing does not get damaged and tries to get ahead of Harry, preferably at the long DRS straight of the 3rd sector as well. That'll be the crucial point, because obviously if anyone can go side by side at the council section, they'll be absolutely legends and mad to go around there as well. So I think Cryptox needs to get a good start against Harry. If he doesn't, I think you might see Harry try and defend 1 or 2 laps, as I said earlier on.
And so really Vienna's best friend right now is going to be Harry, so that maybe Harry can hold off the drivers behind him so Vienna can get a good start and pull away. Of course, that's assuming that Harry doesn't have the pace to catch Vienna, which we really don't know yet, and we won't until we go back green, because even though Harry's on the hard tires, which are a little bit slower than the medium tires, that doesn't mean that Harry is just going to lose this race. And actually, I think there's a problem with Vienna. He was under power, but I think it's just because the safety car is coming in this lap now, so no problem there. My mistake. So we're about to find out just how this battle is going to turn out. Lap 14 of 26. We've reached the halfway mark, so just halfway to go. Vienna, Harry, Cryptox, Lewis, Scott Bugner, Scope, Roy Boy, Nitro Gash, Steven, Rymac, your top 10. As we are about to go green, who will get the better start? Vienna's going to be the control car here, and he's weaving back and forth, trying to keep heating those tires, really just toying with these guys. And wow, that has got to be infuriating, but Vienna does get to choose when he can go until they get to the line. And when's he going to do it? He's going to try to catch him off guard, catch him sleeping, and does he? He does! Look at that, Vienna already shooting out to a nice and early lead. But Harry really trying to close that gap. Harry got a good start as well, and Cryptox just behind him is trying to go on his outside, and they're side by side for second place through turn number 1. Harry trying to edge just ahead of Cryptox, not able to do so. Cryptox is still there on the outside through turn number 2, and some contact, and Cryptox is in the wall. Cryptox in the wall, dropping back to 4th. Lewis now on the back of Harry, trying to make his move into the second position, but now Harry's trying to give a block to the outside line, who had a run, and Cryptox trying to go on the inside of Lewis now. Harry really locking it up, trying to defend. Lewis trying to go around the outside of Harry, not able to do it, and now look at that. Who is that on the inside of Cryptox? That's Scott Bugner trying to make a move for the 4th position on that Racing Point machine, trying to go around the outside, taking the longer line. Cryptox almost hit the wall again. And now Harry still trying to fend off Lewis in that Haas machine. All the while, Vienna has gotten out to a 3.5 second lead.
Here we go, we're coming to the council section now. Let's see if we can try and get through there. Perfect there. It looks like they've done it absolutely perfectly there. So they've done absolutely fantastic stuff there as well. So let's see how Lewis can try and close in on Harry here, who's trying everything he can here to try and get another podium as well. So this is what I said, Harry with that hard tyres is going to be absolutely struggling, because now Lewis is on the charge here now. This could be about 4, 5, 6 car swamp here, of a train here, coming up to the DRS straight here, like the long straight here. Looks like Harry's going to try and get that extra ARS mode here. Well, he needs it, because Vienna's shot off there to over 4 seconds there. And look at this. We've got Roy Boy, Scott, Cryptox. Roy Boy trying to close in on Scott here. But I tell you what, Scott's made the move into 5th. Oh, brilliant move. Absolutely brilliant move there from Scott. Fantastic stuff there.
Roy Boy just trying to settle back in line now. Going to try to take another run at Scott Bugner whenever he can catch him. But Scott is a man on a mission, as you said, trying to get a good points day. Cryptox a man on a mission as well, trying to get around Lewis here for 3rd place. Harry just really holding up this line, but now Lewis is trying to go on the outside of Harry once again, and he is there. He might be able to complete the pass now. A little bit of contact trying to get by Harry, and he's going to send it through the corner, and there's some contact, and Lewis spins! Lewis spins as it's in the wall! Oh my goodness, a podium finish potentially for Lewis is now in shambles and dropping to the back of the pack.
Absolutely, I couldn't see much of it, but I saw the ending of it, of that incident there as well. So I think it looked like Lewis was trying to make the move on the inside at turn 5, 6, I think it was, but still manic stuff there as well. So unfortunate for Lewis there. He's going to drop all the way back to 13th place now. So let's see how the 4-car battle, probably a 5-car battle here between Harry, Cryptox, Scott, Roy Boy, and now slowly coming up is Scopefielder with Rymac here. So here we go here, Tim. who's going to be in second place after this long straight battle.
Well, it looks like Harry is going to be. Harry really got a good exit out of that set of corners. Cryptox really losing out, but Cryptox might have the DRS. No, actually, he doesn't. He does not have the DRS. It's not activated yet. So this is just raw pace that we're seeing here. Harry, though, really losing ground to Cryptox by that slipstream, but not by enough. Through turn 1, Harry still easily in front of Cryptox, heading to turn number 2 now, and Cryptox can close the gap just a little bit, but he can't get there. Now the DRS is active, and now Cryptox will have it down this straightaway, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything with it. Harry is just too fast at the moment to let Cryptox get around, and a big lockup from Harry is going to let Cryptox get a little bit closer, but still not able to make the move. And this is just a track to where there's not a lot of opportunities to pass, so you have to take them when they present themselves, and so far nothing has presented itself to Cryptox, but that could change down this short little straightaway here. Cryptox got a very nice exit off of that corner, but it's going to all be for naught.
We'll have to wait and see what happens here. Harry's doing a magnificent job here to holding on for second here, but also with Cryptox, Roy Boy and Scott, they need to try and make the moves, because the more time they're behind Harry here, the better the time here that Vienna could get. The way it's going at the moment here, could have another, if he wants to, which I doubt it, but if he wants to try and get to like a 20-second gap, and as long as there's no other safety cars, would be another pit stop free. But I think he'll be happy with the medium tyres at the moment here. From lap 17 of 26 of the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League live exclusive on the YouTube channel here. So you can see what happens here from Roy Boy. Roy Boy's going side by side here, too wide here, and Roy Boy makes the move to third place here. So he's done a cracker of a job there, but Cryptox is not giving up here. Cryptox is not giving up here. Let's see, there's quite a few barrels behind, as you can see from the back of the grid. We had a 3 wide! We've got the 3 wide! Oh! And Scope misses out by 3 positions there. Did you see that, Tim?
I did not. Oh no, the Hellstone is spun in turn number 2.
There was contact at turn 2. There was contact at turn 2 as well. So manic stuff there. Now Roy Boy's made the move here on to second place. And now Cryptox made the move into third place now. What's going on? What's going on? This is absolutely brilliant. Battles here galore at the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League here.
And Cryptox is not done with Roy Boy. He's trying to follow him through. He followed him through to get by Harry. Now he's just got to get by him. But Roy Boy, I think, is just a little bit faster than that Racing Point machine here at the time being. A big lockup, though, from Roy Boy allows Cryptox to close in just a little bit through the castle section now. Got to be very careful. You don't want to hit that wall. Cryptox came close to it, but the precision behind that Racing Point machine really showing off there. Cryptox, though, losing ground now to Roy Boy, and just as I say that, he does actually gain a little bit on him, about a 1/10 of a second that time down the straightaway. But through this corner, how's it going to be? Who gets the better exit? Roy Boy definitely getting the better exit that time. 5/10 of a second separating the two drivers now. Lap 18 of 26, and this is the battle for second. Vienna, remember, 8 seconds in the lead in front of this battle here. So Roy Boy, not a good set of corners that time. I think Cryptox is going to be able to close in on him. He's going to have the DRS now as well as the slipstream. So let's see if Cryptox can do anything with it as they head down to turn number 1, but he is not going to be able to do it. Not closing that gap significantly enough through turn number 1. Roy Boy, no pressure behind.
Absolutely not. But now Scott, while you was watching that, Scott has made the move to 4th there. Harry drops down to 5th place now. So he's trying everything he can here, Harry, to try and keep hold of that 5th place here. But Scott needs to challenge Cryptox, Roy Boy, as well, to try and get another podium here tonight as well. So here we go. We got the 3-car battle between Scott, Harry and Rymac here for 4th, 5th and 6th. We also got the battle for 2nd and 3rd, as well as the Nightshade, Sab and Scopefield, a battle there as well. And Harry makes the move on to 5th place here by the looks of things as well, and he made the move perfectly there against Rymac.
Yeah, Rymac was trying to go around Harry at that time, but not able to do so. In the same corner that Harry and Lewis had their incident, there was almost an incident between these two drivers. There was some contact, but both drivers giving each other room, so they were able to squeeze by. But Harry, obviously the one to benefit from that and moving into the 5th position there. So Rymac trying to regroup and take another charge at Harry when the opportunity presents itself. He is gaining on him just a little bit through this straightaway here, but who's going to get the better exit out of this corner now? It is going to be Harry. I think Rymac used a little bit too much curb, and that's what's really tricky about that corner, Malc, is that curve is just so high, it's tall. So if you hit it too hard, you're basically flying through the air for like a fraction of a second, but it loses a lot of time on your lap.
Absolutely, and obviously you don't want to... obviously everyone's trying to hit the barriers here and like the curbs as well, and trying to move on here as well. We've got 2 wide here, and Rymac has made the move to 5th now. Harry drops down to 6th place here. So that is not good for Harry here. And let's have a look at Scope and Hailstone battling out for 9th and 10th place as well. So Scope trying to the PC champion as well on the DRS straight here. Hailstone with that racing point coming down the straight here. And have to wait to see how he could try and make the move on the inside. Oh no! I thought he was teasing us to try and make the move on there, Tim.
Yeah, he was, but just not quite able to do it. Gonna take a look now at... excuse me. Gonna take a look now again, rather, at Hailstone and Scopefilter. Can't find my words today, Mal. But Scopefilter and Hailstone still battling it out, and they're about to approach the castle section here, so riding on board with Hailstone. Scopefilter getting a better exit out of that corner that time. And Scopefilter, he really looks like he's just kind of very calm in that car, but he's running in the 9th position, so probably not the best position that he wants to be in, but he's just really calm. The car looks stable. He doesn't look like he's really fighting any kind of loose or tight condition here. And the Hailstone, he's kind of a little more aggressive for obvious reasons, because he's the pursuer in this case, trying to get by Scopefilter, trying to get as good of a points day as possible. And speaking of as good of a points day, let's talk for a minute about Scott Bugner running in 4th. He started this race in the 6th position. He had a podium going for him there for a while, and he's technically still not out of contention for a podium. He's only 2.3 seconds behind Cryptox in the Racing Point machine. But Scott Bugner, with Cliffy not being here, this is really going to help him out. So, fair play to him. He's capitalized on what he needs to do, and that is get a good points day. And the race isn't over yet, so anything can happen. But all he's got to do at this point is just ride around and be calm, and he's going to have the points day that he needs. But turning my attention back to the Hailstone now, because he has closed the gap to Scopefilter, 0.2 of a second separating these two drivers.
Yeah, absolutely, and Hailstone doing everything he can here. As you was mentioning about Scott Bugner trying to get into the podium here, as you said, he's still got plenty of time. He's got about 6 laps remaining, so anything could happen here from now until the very last lap. It could be all make or break situation as well. But with the battle between Scope and Hailstone, it's just absolutely insane stuff here. Coming up to the castle section now. So obviously, if you try and make the move through the side by side here through the castle, it's going to be not, well, it'd be legendary stuff, but it's also trying not to make too much contact galore there. Nightshade could be closing in on Harry here for 6th place. So just try and see what's going to happen here from Nightshade's point of view, which we haven't mentioned about him actually, Nightshade's or any of the other as much from the other drivers here, but Nightshade's doing really well here for 7th place and trying to balance out with 6 with Harry in the next lap or two.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm surprised to see that Harry has dropped back as far as he has. I mean, he restarted in the 2nd position, and he was on a hard tire, so I figured that he was going to, drop a little bit as Nightshade's trying to make a move on the outside, and there's contact! Harry really running him wide. Harry just ran him to the outside line. He's like, no, I am hanging on to the 6th position. You can try another way around. But as I was saying, I am surprised to see that Harry did drop back to the 6th position, because that's a significant drop that he's suffered here. And I figured that he'd lose 1, 2, maybe 3 positions, but he's lost 4 and at risk of losing a 5th position at the moment. And I have no idea why those hard tires are not giving him the pace that he needs, especially when early on they really seem to be. I mean, because they are a little bit slower than the medium tires, and everyone else around him pitted for fresh medium tires. But it doesn't explain how he had the pace early on, and now it's just starting to fall off.
Yeah, it depends also, because this is now territory of the mediums to now push on massively. But with the hard tyres, should, as you rightly said there, Tim, it should have been kicked off. But I think it's because with the Williams as well, and on the hard tyres, it's like dragging back too much weight. That's how it feels like, because there's no extra speed or anything like that. But Harry's doing everything he can on that Williams car as well. Coming up to the DRS straight here now between Nightshade's Harry and Sab. Sab in 8th place, so he's doing a great race as well, to be fair, Tim.
Yeah, Sab currently running in the 8th position, as you said, so a good top 10 run today for Sab if he can hang on. And we don't really get a chance to talk about him a lot, but we are now, and he does have DRS on Nightshades. He might be trying to make a move on the inside here. Let's see if he's able to do it. Not this time, but he did gain a significant amount down that straightaway, so if Sab could just stay consistent here and find a little bit more pace, he could very well move his way up into at least the 6th position, as there's actually a big lockup from, I believe, Nightshades that time around, going into turn number 2. Harry swerving back and forth, trying to break the slipstream. That actually might help Sab out a little bit if he can stay straight on the course and gain on these drivers. But he can really gain on the entry, and then on exit they're really losing it, and that was a big lockup again from Nightshades from the right front tire. So Nightshade's definitely giving it his all, trying to get around Harry, and I think that this might be the time that those hard tires are finally starting to kick in and show their life for Harry. I've heard from a lot of drivers, I've heard from you, Malc, that it usually takes a few laps on the hard tires before they really start to come alive and become worthy of actually having a decent lap, and I think that point has finally happened for Harry here.
Well, cross your fingers, toes, everything to make sure it is happening, but it looks like it is here. But it looks like Nightshades could have the opportunity to make the move here. He's going to make the move. Oh, I thought he was going to make the move there before the end of the second sector there. But Harry's locked up there. Harry's locked up there. I don't know if he's had any wing damage there, but it'll go side by side here. Nightshades. No, the side by side there is Sab. Is Sab making the move? Oh, brilliant move. Brilliant move there from Sab. Oh, what a move there. But Nightshades ain't giving up here. Nightshades ain't giving up here. They're going to try and go side by side here. Sab. Could Sab make 2 moves? This will be the bestest ever opportunity of a lifetime here for Sab. And he does make the move into 6th, but Harry will struggle to lose out to 8th here. But Nightshade still on for 7th place here. And they're going again here for the DRS, so Sab will have to defend here against the ongoing of the Ferrari and the Williams here.
And now Harry, all he can do is watch as the drivers ahead of him fall away. I think that Harry definitely does have some sort of damage on that car, because that does not explain why else he would be losing as much time as he did that time. But he hit the wall out of that corner where Nightshades was really close to him. I think that Nightshades intimidated him and made Harry miss his braking point. He drove a little bit harder into the corner, he got into the wall, and I think that that's what done it. He lost so much speed, so much momentum, and perhaps even damaged the car to the point that his performance is just lacking now. His front wing looks fine. There might be some minor damage that we can't see, but otherwise it looks fine. All the end plates are there. It's just that now he does definitely seem to be running at a slightly slower pace than what he was. And so Nightshades gaining a position on, well, not really gaining a position, actually. He's the one that didn't gain a position at all. He has stayed in 7th place. Sab was the one that went around and gained a position, and Harry lost 2 of them. And Sab now really sending it into that corner. I thought for a minute he was going to make the same mistake that Harry did last time, but he does avoid the wall, so good job there on Sab. And if he can just continue at this pace, I think that he's going to have a 6th place run today.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Sab here. I mean, he's been really unlucky this season in the Invictus Racing League from F4 as well as the Performance League. But this could be one of the bestest ever races he has ever driven since the F1 2020 game has come out here. But again, I don't want to make any commentators curse or anything like that, but I really do hope Sab gets a strong finish, and he really deserves that tonight as well. But also, we've got couple of issues here, well, not issues, a couple of battles, which will give you a bit of a shock here, Tim. Roy Boy is closing up on Vienna, which I was expecting Vienna and Cryptox to barry that with, but now Roy Boy's chasing Vienna for first place.
Wow, I did not notice that at all, actually. I'll be honest with you, Malc. So Roy Boy definitely got a fast car here. I was watching Rimac, who was closed in to about the same gap to Scott Bugner here. So lap 25-26, 2 laps to go, and we got 2 battles going on in the top 10 between Vienna, Roy Boy for the lead, and then Scott Bugner and Rimac for 4th. So watching Roy Boy now as he's using the slipstream the best he can, and both drivers taking a good corner that time. I think that Roy Boy is still being patient. I think once we cross the line, it's going to be the final lap. It's going to be go time, and Roy Boy actually got very loose there, so he's losing some time to Vienna now. And that's a bad spot to lose time because you need a perfect exit out of that corner because it's basically flat out all the way till you get to turn number 1. But look at this, Roy Boy using the DRS at the slipstream. He's going to get by Vienna with relative ease. Move Roy Boy up into the first position, and Vienna is a sitting duck, and he just watches as that Renault disappears into turn number 1.
Yeah, what a move there from Roy Boy there. So his last win was back in Abu Dhabi. His last podium was back in Monaco in round 6. We're on round 10 at the Azerbaijan. So this will be a mammoth boost here for Roy Boy. But it all depends if Vienna can try and stop that rot here. With Vienna, trying to remember here, Vienna, like I said earlier on, his last win was in Belgium 2 races ago. So could it be the second win of the season here for Vienna, or could it be Roy Boy's second win actually of the season as well? So these two battling out, but with Cryptox 10 seconds too much. But what we haven't mentioned about as well here, Tim, is penalties. We haven't seen much of it, have we?
No, we really haven't seen a lot of penalties here today, and I'm not sure if we've not been notified or not. I can actually check the race director. There are a fair share of penalties and warnings for sure, so that could come into play later on. But it's a significantly less amount than what we're used to seeing. And speaking of the devil, actually, Roy Boy, a 5-second time penalty for a severe collision with... No, actually, I'm sorry. That was a old update, so definitely some communication error there. That was my apologies. But Roy Boy is actually leading, so he could not have had a severe collision with anybody except the start-finish line, which is coming up now. Just one very long straightaway to go, and Roy Boy can call himself a winner once again in the Invictus Racing League Performance League. Good job to Roy Boy as he crosses the line in first.
Brilliant stuff. Well done to Roy Boy, who a crack of a race, to be fair, after issues with his car earlier on in the session there. Vienna finishes in second, but where's Cryptox? Cryptox will finish in third place. Rimac and Scott, they're going side by side here, 2 wide. Scott finishes in 4th. The battle between those two were just immense there. And Sab, congratulations to him. He has finished in 6th place. And that is a massive boost here for him. Fair play to him. Nightshades finishes in 7th. Harry, with that hard tyres, and tried everything he can with that Williams car as well. So he did everything he could to finish in 8th place. Scope will finish in 9th place. The Hailstone will finish in 10th place. No, actually, Moreno will finish in 10th place. So Hailstone drops down to 11th because of possibility of a penalty. As well, Nigel Gash has just come up through the last bit of the 3rd sector here to finish off in 12th place. Aaron J. Spence and also O. Stephen will finish off their races in a moment or two. But the only 3 casualties of the race here tonight is Volcano's Prime, Matty and Lewis. Unfortunately, they've all had the DNFs during the race as well. So we're just waiting for Aaron J. Spence to cross over the line, and then also O. Stephen to cross over the line to finish off the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We hope you enjoyed that epic race there. What was your thoughts of that, Tim?
Well, I don't think that the race disappointed at all, and Roy Boy getting driver of the day, and I think that that is very deserving because you got to remember, Vienna had an 8-second lead. 8 seconds when Roy Boy took 2nd place, and he ran him down, all 8 seconds of it, passed him on the DRS straight, and pulled away to win by, I think, a margin of over a second. So Roy Boy, definitely a fast driver here today, definitely deserving of that win. Congratulations to him.
Fantastic stuff there. He did a stellar for a job here. As I said earlier on, he had some issues with his car, but he's bounced himself back up and produced the goods here to finish off the win at the Azerbaijan for his second win of the season as well. Fair play to him, and well done to Vienna. I think he has left the session, so we won't be able to get him to do the interviews tonight. And then we've got Cryptox there as well. Here are your Azerbaijan Grand Prix race classification for the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. You got Roy Boy in first, Vienna in second, Cryptox in third, Scott in fourth, Rymac in fifth, Sab in sixth, Nightshades in seventh, Harry in 8th, Scope in 9th, Moreno in 10th, Hailstone 11th, Nodgegash 12th, OJ Spence 13th, O Steven 14th, Lewis, Matty and Volcanoes Prime have all had the DNFs as well during this race. So while we're waiting for Cryptox and Roy Boy to join in, let's hear their thoughts. Do you want to join in the interviews as well, Tim, for you asking the questions as well?
Yeah, let's go.
Cool. So I'll mention a few questions and we'll talk to and let Tim do some of the interview questions as well to hear their thoughts. So we're just going to wait for Roy Boy and also for Cryptox. We know Roy Boy's just this minute gone in. Cryptox has just joined in as well. So guys, I know you've just joined in. Before you say anything, please make sure that your allow voice to be shared is set to always allow. If you're not sure how to do it, go to the party settings, and there's an option for allow voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow. So while the guys are slowly start and ready to go, me and Tim will be talking to Roy Boy, the winner of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and then also we'll talk to Cryptox on his brilliant third place at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So guys, are you all set, ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Same here.
Nice. So we'll talk to Roy Boy first, and then we'll talk to Cryptox. Good evening, Roy Boy. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Great. How are you?
It's been absolutely belter of a race there as well. So, what, from your point of view, obviously you've had issues with your car, which we won't mention too much, but your battles throughout the pack there, did you expect a second win tonight?
No, I didn't. Especially not with the errors I got at start.
Oh,
And
okay.
that were the same errors as last week. And last week I thought I quit and I didn't. Yeah, I was a bit of salty because I had pole, and then with the race start I got two errors, and then I was salty, so I quit. But tonight I thought I got the same two errors again, but I thought I'd try to join again, and this time it worked.
Fair enough. So, but it's paid you off there, Roy Boy, to be fair, so well done on that as well. So you did a brilliant job with so much battles galore, and you was chasing Vienna. At one point I thought he was going to try to make the move later on with the finale lap, shall we say, but you took the move perfectly against Vienna. I think it was at the lap 25-26.
Yeah, it was in lap 25. Before, in the last corner, in lap 25, I was 1 second behind them, and I thought, let's try it. And I knew the Renault was faster in a straight line than the Alpha, so I thought if I can pass him, maybe I can make a gap so he doesn't pass me on the next straight.
Fair enough, fair dues there, Roy Boy. So, Tim, have you got any questions for Roy Boy?
Yeah, Roy Boy, I'm sure that you're aware of it. I'm not sure if anyone watching is aware of it, but at one point when you took second place, you were 8 seconds behind Vienna, and I saw that and I thought, yeah, there's no way Vienna's going to win this thing. All he's got to do is ride around. Vienna's got the win. Roy Boy's going to get second. A few laps later, I looked over and the gap was down to 6 seconds, and I'm like, wow, Roy Boy's fast, but there's still no way that he can get there. And then 2 laps to go, Malc brings to my attention that the gap is 0.6 of a second. How were you able to find that pace to eat away, not just eat away, but overcome and pass the driver that had that big of a gap on you?
Yeah, just keep pushing and pushing as hard as I can, but not hitting the wall. And it's difficult around the track, but I managed it tonight.
Hey, well, you did a fantastic job, Roy Boy, and very impressive. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roy Boy. You can stay if you want, or you can shoot off. It's up to you, but congratulations on winning the race here tonight. Cryptox, how you doing, mate? You alright?
Yeah, can't complain.
You can't complain. I wouldn't complain to finish off in third place there as well. So you did a brilliant job and did a stellar job of making that racing point. I bet you was happy with that racing point car with that straight line speed that you had at the start.
Especially at that start with the soft tires and everything, it was just impossibly fast, and I wasn't expecting that kind of pace, but in the end I'm happy that I had that pace.
Yeah, it looked like you was gambling to try and go on for like the top two, but you had the battles of, obviously, with the Williams of Harry as well. I bet that was a bit of a struggle during that safety car as well, but you did glad to try and get yourself third place tonight.
Yeah, especially during that safety car. After the safety car, I was constantly under pressure from Scott, who was like pushing like crazy, and I just focused on getting him behind, so I kind of lost the connection to the car in front of me. So in the end, it was everything that I could achieve with P3, but I'm happy.
Fair dues. Well done for that, Cryptox. Tim, you got any questions for Cryptox?
Yeah, Cryptox, you had a lot of pace there at the beginning, and we thought for a while that you were going to be the one to beat. Do you really have any explanation of what could have went your way a little bit better throughout the race to maybe give yourself that edge and be standing in the position that Roy Boy is?
To be honest, I think it was the late safety car, because the only reason that I went on softs at the start was because I was expecting an early safety car so that I could change to the medium tires. But obviously with it being so late, I had to go to the hards because the softs were starting to slide. So that was a bit unfortunate, but I'm happy that I got to make it like this, that I got to finish it like this.
Well, you got a podium, and that is, of course, good. It's not a win, but it's a good points day for you, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Brilliant stuff there. Well done, Cryptox, for finishing third place. And you can stay if you want, you can shoot off, it's up to you, but thank you very much for joining tonight. Thank you to Roy Boy and Cryptox for their top three questions as well. So, for the final bits of the stream here tonight, Tim, what's been your best highlight?
Honestly, Roy Boy just running down Vienna was a pretty big highlight in my book, I think. The first lap, of course, there was a little bit of contact there, and just throughout the pack, and it was nice to see that most drivers got through it. Of course, unfortunate for Vulcanus Prime, starting in about second or third and having to be the first one to retire out of the race. But he can always bounce back next week. There is always next week. And otherwise, it was just overall a very entertaining race. Where we were lacking in battles, we saw in pit strategy, so there was a few different tire combinations being chosen. Of course, Cryptox starting on the soft tires and really working out for him there early on. So, all in all, this is about what you can ask for. It was an entertaining race, and congratulations to our podium finishers, and above all else, thanks for the viewers watching and for the drivers racing with us.
Absolutely. It's been a hell of a blast here at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So next week we will be at Russia for round 11, which will be the full qualifying scenario for Q1, Q2 and Q3. What's going to happen for that race, as also for Vietnam for the finale race of the Performance League this season. This season's been an absolute blast, whatever happens here. But we've still got 2 races left here, Tim, and I cannot wait to hear your thoughts of what's going to happen with these last 2 races. It's going to be absolutely epic as well. Thank you to everyone that's watched the stream here for the final time. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races here as well. But also, we're trying to aim for as much of the subscription as possible there. we're trying to aim for 700 subscribers as well for YouTube. That'll be magnificent job. But also we're on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, so make sure you like, follow and subscribe as always. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you all next week at the Russia Grand Prix. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.